Welcome everyone. This is Cali Manila Chronicles, Tsismis at Recuerdos podcast.
This is episode 9, bro. Episode 9.
Yes, episode 9. Yeah, we'll go straight into the Tsismis because this is a
Chismisan lang tayo. Chismisan lang tayo for now.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a very heavy time right now in Los Angeles. So where we are, you guys have been following the news. If you're in the Philippines or if you're somewhere else in the United States or around the world, you could probably see that Los Angeles is burning. Like looks like hell right now, and
Yeah.
it's real. It's real. I know most there sometimes they think like the news exaggerates it. This one's a little too close to home. So like literally, like there are multiple fires going on around Los Angeles right now. There's like three main ones. There's one where Pacific Palisades is at, so that's area near the water, near like Malibu area in Santa Monica, and that's still going on. Uh, there's the one that's going on in Pasadena, and Pasadena one is about 5 miles, like 10 kilometers away from where I grew up, where my parents' home still is. My brother's home is still there, and um, yeah, a lot of my good friends and coworkers are there. They had to evacuate. Some of them have lost their homes, and it's just heartbreaking. And then yeah, and there's another big fire in Santa Clarita. So also another area where my other friends are at. So I think it's just crazy. I'm constantly looking at the news. Um,
But
for
can
for
you give
anyone.
more, RV, for those listeners, especially outside US or even outside California? Where did it start, the fire?
So where did it start? Um I, okay, let me give some context. So for
Yeah, sure.
California, this isn't wildfires is not something new. Like we pretty
Mm-hmm.
much experience this every
Yeah.
year, because California is really big. It has a lot of just like green areas, like forests, vegetation, uh, and pretty much every year, it's guaranteed that there's going to be a wildfire.
Okay.
Now, um, I think what makes this crazy is a couple of days ago there was a so wildfires happened, but then there was also a windstorm that happened. So like this windstorm, like no rain, so very dry, right? Uh, the windstorm projected was about 40 to 50 miles per hour, some going up to 100 miles per hour. So like that's fast for a storm. Like
But
if it picks, yeah,
is it sorry to bother you in that. Is it uh I know it's very typical to have wildfire, but uh is it like very occasional to have a wildfire on this month?
I think it
On
just
this,
happens.
it
Oh,
just
during
happened.
winter time.
Yeah.
I think it just happens at different times. Yeah, because
Mm,
California, we've also been experiencing a drought. So typically we don't get it during the winter because it's colder. Things are wet, so it shouldn't be fires shouldn't
yeah.
be happening. But ever since we've been going through this drought, everything's just dry, and so during the windstorms, it takes down power lines, and then the power lines start sparking. So
So for
mag-
people who are not living in the US, it also happened to the US. Power lines also cutting off. It's not
Mhm.
just Philippines. It's very typical. It's not just because they are a first world country and they are not also happening to them. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, power lines go down and then it starts a fire, it sparks. Uh for these fires that we're going through right now, they're still looking for what the cause was. But yeah, the fires kind of just started so quickly. Like within hours of fire starting, like it spread uh to like thousands of acres. So
And probably just
um
because of the windstorm, right? Because wind is really giving more power to the fire to lit up.
yeah, pretty much. And then basically overnight, like uh all like so many evacuation. I Yeah, it's just so many people got affected. Like the Palisades fires, if you look at the amount of buildings that got destroyed, uh like there's nothing left. Like and all of like in the Palisades, these are like huge mansions that like it's typically celebrities who live around there because it's overlooking the water, and all of those guys lost their homes. And the tough part is this happens to them almost every year. Something happens within that area because it's like in the mountains, highly covered by um, by greenery and grass too. So it happens a lot. Um, and then the Pasadena one. This is in in like almost 20 years that I've lived here. Um, I don't think we've had anything this big. And
Hmm.
then for it to come so close um, to where I grew up, like
Yeah,
there's so many homes that it took out. Like it's evacuated so many people. Um, yeah, it's wild. It's just it's crazy. It's crazy to see the places that I grew up going to just gone. Um, so yeah, it's like yeah.
yeah.
Um,
This I would say, Arvin, that this is the times that they said it's the usual thing, but it's not. It's
it's
it,
not.
it's like from the Philippines. It's where we are used to typhoons, but when
Mhm,
you experience the typhoon, it's not the same as the previous typhoon.
mhm.
So,
It's not.
uh,
Yeah.
and if we have like multiple typhoons coming in, these typhoons are almost different, uh, s- different power, different wind, different. Sometimes there's a storm, but there's no rain. So,
Hmm.
so it's pretty much different, and probably uh, on California, it's there's this one is a new one.
Hmm.
It couldn't happen again for the next 20, 30 years, or maybe 15 years, because it's just really uh it's unusual.
Yeah. Every year has been a or like breaking records on temperature, breaking records on just everything. So I'm sure there's something about climate change here that's
Yeah,
causing this. I'm
yeah,
not an expert on that, but I'm I'm for certain there's something there, right? And just
yeah,
how dry things are becoming at certain seasons. Like, um, yeah, it's. I think what I can speak to though is the the feeling that people are having right now. The bright side of what's happening is that I really see a lot of people come together to help each other out,
yeah,
which I think this happens in every calamity. The worst happens, the worst shows up, but also the good parts of people just wanting to help out each other, housing
yeah,
each other to make sure that um, to to ensure that no one is left stranded. Like I've had so many friends who are housing each other to stay away from the fires. Um, there's this app called Watch Duty where you can see where all the fires are going. And um, that first night when the fires were going, I know that a lot of my friends were just on there, like nonstop checking on each other's homes, making sure that everyone gets out
Yeah.
because cell service is out. Like
Yeah.
uh, teammates who I was like pinging locations to just to make sure that they know that they're like, hey, your house is getting close to the evacuation orders. In case you didn't get a notice, I want to make sure that you're out. So there's that. And then the most beautiful part. Um, so my employer um, is located in this community. So it located they started in the Pasadena area. This whole uh, this whole uh, like ordeal is too close to home for them as well. And so in the last 24 hours, they converted our offices into
Yeah.
temporary shelters for families. They set they put together beds and clothes for anyone who got displaced, who needs a home for the next couple days. Donated a lot of money to the Red Cross, and it's just, I think for me, it's heartwarming to see that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's it's tough. It's tough to see this in my backyard, and
Yeah. I know. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and I know this, and uh, this this happens everywhere, and so I uh, I think a good reflection for this is how do we, yeah, how do we bring out the best of people during these times? And
Yeah.
at the very core of just being good people for us is how do we be there for each other? So yeah,
Yeah.
what more can we do?
I also think that these times there's always people in community step up,
Hmm.
and the negativity is probably be gone down, and it's more on the positivity side. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Praying for everyone's safety there. Uh, I hope. I mean, they will. co- The community will be rise again soon. So uh, it's a step by step process,
Yeah,
uh, and our prayers goes to those people that was affected by it, and don't worry, everyone is praying for you. Everyone is praying for you guys.
thank you. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. Like I'm glad that lucky that my family is okay. My family is not affected. Uh, if our viewers or listeners would like to help out, uh, yeah, please feel free to donate to the Red Cross. They're doing a lot of good work. Uh, there are other uh, there are other organizations that are also pulling together money for a lot of the people that got displaced. Because I think the one other thing that I'll call out here is that a lot of the companies, the insurance companies, pulled out of these areas, like to for fire insurance coverages. So a lot of the people got displaced. I don't know how they're going to rebuild. It's going to take some time to rebuild. So if you guys know anyone from the California area or Los Angeles area that is going through something like this, um, reach out to them, offer any help, um, uh, emotionally, physically, or financially. Uh, I'm going to pull on some resources as well in the next
Yeah,
couple days to see how we can mobilize people to help if you can. Um, and I, I hope we can make a difference here. But yeah, thank you
yeah,
guys
yeah,
for supporting always. So yeah, um,
yeah.
so that's the update on my end. How are you guys doing? How's Manila?
Yeah, there's a mix. So this is the chismisan part. It's all chismis. First is I have some good news. The one that got uh in the Middle East, or no, not in the Middle East, in Indonesia, that got a death row convict. Mary
Mm,
Jane Veloso was they had reached the Philippines and Indonesia got a deal where they could return our fellow Filipina to come back to the
mm,
Philippines and spend her jail time here while processing or hopefully the case could be transferred to the Philippine courts and possible dismissal for it. But
what's the story behind Mary Jane Veloso?
it's more of a human trafficking part. So someone asked her to go to be a domestic helper, but she was arrested because someone put a heroin on her suitcase.
Mm,
She didn't know
oh
that
shit.
she has heroin on that suitcase. So probably the recruiter on her fake agency got it inside to onto her suitcase. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's and she's back. She's in one of the jails here in Manila, and she's doing her sentencing here. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully uh, the uh, she could meet her justice. And but the good thing, she did spend Christmas here, and her family
Mm-hmm.
got to visit her.
Wow.
So it's
How long has this case been going on?
since 2010. So 2010, she was arrested. 2010, and
My God.
I do believe that we should thank President Aquino at the time. So probably 2016, before 2015,
Mm-hmm.
that she asked for clemency to extend and the death row conviction. So
Mm-hmm.
it was delayed.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Mm-hmm.
delayed, and now probably through different petitions, people and the government still seeking to uh, about it, and that now we could hopefully that she could be the case could be dismissed, and probably in the next 3 to 5 years, she could be out from the jail.
Wow. Wow.
So that's really
That's
good news, I would say, because I do believe that the drugs were duped to her
mm-hmm.
suitcase. So
Mm-hmm.
it's very typical, especially on these countries where the opportunity is really to go to abroad, and some are doing some very unnecessary things, and they want to sacrifice it for a person that doesn't
Yeah.
know.
Wow.
And
Wow. Well,
yeah,
prayers for her as well. Hopefully she can be back with her family soon, like out of
yeah.
jail.
Another good news: we have a Filipino winner on The Voice US. Uh,
Yes. Yes, you
si
do.
Sofronio Vasquez. My dad really watches him every week since the
Mm-hmm.
audition. I just watched him probably on the semifinals and the finals part. He's really good. He won from the votes, which is I think one of the keys of American Idol and The Voice is just really the votes of uh, the people around the United States. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not from the judges' scores. So
Mm.
uh, it's good to know that now they're giving now commendation to Filipino singers. So
Wow.
yeah, it's one thing that I do believe I'm Filipino. If someone achieves something, you feel you're a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I also like I'm proud when they're like I'm motivated if I'm watching Lea Salonga on her auditions on the Miss Saigon.
Yeah.
Because I felt the her intention to to got that role, the
Mm-hmm.
and when you heard her voice, yeah, yeah, I want to achieve, also achieving my dream, because she achieved her dream. And
Yeah.
now when on all that success, on all the performance, you can feel that you're part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because of everyone is like hands down giving her her flowers.
Yes. She's a legend. I mean, she's been in the business for so long. I think we grew up watching her, and
Yeah,
she's still dominating in on Broadway and on just various platforms. Like people look
yeah,
up to her as the one who paved the way for. Yeah, uh,
yeah, yeah.
it's amazing.
I have two. One that is probably uh one is very creepy. I didn't, but they haven't provided any details from it. So there is a U.S. flight from going to Manila that they uh I believe it's on the New York Post. Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
I'm just trying to recollect that someone on a United Airlines flight from U.S. to Manila, someone urinated a co-passenger. The person is a passenger and urinated to another.
Urinated.
Yeah,
Oh,
and um, it's on the middle of the flight, so they cannot press charges. It's just he's sleeping, and then when
yeah.
he woke up, like, oh, I smell like pee. So like, he told to uh he asked for flight attendants assistance that to approach the man, avoid confrontation, and but probably it's just something regarding health incident.
Yeah,
But
I'm
yeah,
sure that's accidental, right? That's crazy though.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah,
Dang.
you know that airplanes is like one of the. I'm not saying it's one of the most dirtiest. It's just because you're all just one very big vehicle.
Wow.
Uh, we
Yeah.
cannot
I'm
under.
I'm
Yeah.
just checking the news right now. Yeah, this happened like 6 days ago. United Airlines from San Francisco to the Philippines.
Oh,
Oh,
oh.
dude. Oh, come on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is sad, but we okay. That sucks. But moving on. Any other things that you have that
Moving on is I there is a yesterday up to this time, it is the feast of the Black Nazarene. So
yes.
and now the world knows how we celebrate this feast. It happens on the 9th of January until 10th.
Hmm.
It's a procession coming from the Quiapo Church in Manila, going around Manila and going back to Quiapo Church, but now it's coming from Quiapo Church going to the Carino Grandstand,
Hmm.
and Carino Grandstand going to back to the Quiapo Church.
Why is the Feast of the Nazarene big in the Philippines? You can.
Well, it started when there is a fire incident happened on the church
Hmm.
in Quiapo, which in the that's one of the main markets before on Spanish colonization. Now, uh, when fire hazard had happened, uh, the only thing left on that church is the black. It's the Nazarene. Uh, it's the Nazarene in covered in black because it got burned. But uh,
Mm.
all of the most parts of it is still intact.
Yeah.
So then they thought it's a miracle that this um this artifact is still regain its uh I would say, formity the
Like it
of
survived the whole.
that incident. Yeah,
Oh.
and upon from that, because of it, it's a tradition to, and it says it giving miracles to
Hmm.
some of the devotees. Uh, but just to give context, because we are really a deep Catholic faith country, sometimes they thought that that is because they're providing those wishes to it. But
Hmm.
I wanted to give that clarity, that it's because it's become to extent like the procession. If you could see, most of the people getting hurt because they want to jump on the relic and get and their towels be got on the and then put it in their, oh, and they feel good.
Yeah.
uh that the devotion is for the Lord, our Savior Jesus Christ, our God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit,
Yeah.
not just the Black Nazarene.
I
So
see.
because some, because of the devotion of it, uh uh they they think that devotion is the God itself, not
Mm.
but so don't be uh too literal,
Yeah.
because the divine power is always there.
Yeah.
And I would say it's still up to you how
Yeah.
you walk on your faith and your life as well.
Understood. Understood. Interesting. As you're talking about it, I realized this is a I think growing up in the Philippines, we touch the saints a lot, right? The
Yep.
saints and
Yep.
all the statues, all the figurines, and I think it goes back to that uh to that Bible story, right, where they talk um about the woman who was sick,
Mm-hmm.
the bleeding woman, and she just needed to touch the Jesus cloak, and then she was healed. I think this is what people are doing with all these with all these like movements or motions that they do to the saints.
Yeah.
For
I
them it
think,
feels like if they can just touch, it'll make a
yeah.
difference.
It's really more on the deep faith of people, especially on our uh on the boomers, on the previous generations. But
Hmm.
to make it more clarity, to make give more clarity to those who are
Hmm.
confused, I would say is, uh, these saints uh, gave some teachings or life lessons or sacrificed because they've done the way of how Jesus lived.
Hmm.
So so they didn't they didn't do what you're currently doing. just so just like Padre Pio or Saint Francis of Assisi.
Hmm.
They've experienced uh, some on their bodies that
Stigmata.
yep, that's the term. And because of it, because of the deep faith that they provide, that the prayers and others that they've done is different from what we are doing. uh
Hmm.
and it's giving uh giving its for example, for the Black Nazarene, because he's representing another facet of Jesus Christ. uh it's more on like, let's live up to the commandments, embrace the teachings that they provide,
Hmm.
and just follow his example, and just love the Lord, something like, and just it, just be those and you're good. That's why there's the Ten Commandments. Uh, I do think that's the one. Just we're not we are. That's why saying, oh, we're not a saint. because those saints done something that way above what you have done. But if you touch them, I would suggest you told that saint is to pray for you, help you,
Yeah.
pray for you, not
Yeah.
not like, hey, you you are also like we're worshiping that saint. No, 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 no.
Yeah.
That's a different thing. It's you are asking that saint to help you, pray for you.
I
Uh,
see. I see. I see the point you're making. Yeah, yeah. I agree with that. I think there's a difference between like worshiping the saint versus like admiring what that the saint symbolizes in what they have done. Yeah, I think there's different levels of faith, right? Of religious
yeah, and
um,
I suggest everyone,
practicing.
Arvin, if you have time, if you go
Yeah.
to Joe Rogan's podcast on the last episode, uh, they talk some historical accounts why the Bible and the Catholic, uh, Roman Catholic, has
Hmm.
a really extensive historical accounts
Yeah.
that Jesus resurrected here.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
because there is like the Bible is a historical accounts, literally,
Yes.
and these people on that authors
Yeah.
lived, and they're the
Yes.
witnesses.
Yes. It's not just a fictional book. It is a historical account of everything that has happened. And yeah, and I get it. I get the extreme devotion, the devotion that people show to it because that's that's our faith. That is the mystery of the faith.
And I don't,
Yeah.
yeah, no disrespect to other religions, even like the Muslims have historical accounts, and if you go for the
Mm-hmm.
research and how they're all connected, they're all connected with
Yeah.
somewhat on the start, on the
Mm-hmm.
previous one. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Absolutely. Very nice. Very nice. Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the stories that come out of the feast day of the Nazarene as well. And yeah, I'm sure there'll be a lot of pictures online about that. What else is
yeah.
happening in the Philippines?
Well, there are some showbiz celebrity.
Mm,
One of the famous actors of multiple generations, Vic Soto, files a cyber libel complaint to a director, Daryl Yap, because of a very libelous complaint. I could give uh, details more in terms of my perspective. I would say because the movie titled like The Rapists of Pepsi Paloma, which is an actress on the 80s that that had a suicide, and
mm,
there are some theories that because she was told that she filed a police report, but it was but she did not push through with it, and she mentioned through different people that she was raped by
mm,
Ti- by Tito Soto, Vic Soto, and Joey De Leon and Ricky De Horsey, which is four comedians and actors. And at that
mm,
time, Tito Soto was already a politician in Quezon City.
mm,
Now it's they're giving different theories at the time because sadly she committed suicide. Uh, and I do think it's because of depression, because of the
mm,
different accounts and different people saying that it's doctors giving her nervous breakdowns. That's their
mm,
because that time that depression is not yet a normal word.
mm,
Uh, so it's a taboo word at that time. So right now on the teaser, the name of the actor was mentioned.
mm,
So uh, the production team or any of them didn't ask permission to say the name.
mm, mm,
I do think. that they could say the name if it was filed a case and the case uh
Proven.
trial. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
trial that happened. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because of it, but it didn't happen.
I
And
see.
so probably if they seek permission and probably they put some different pseudonym,
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's okay.
Mm.
But they really mentioned the whole name, the whole names, and the directors are saying it's not. It's why are you challenging my art? Why are you uh dictating my truth, the truth?
Yeah.
So, but I do believe on the legal grounds, it's not allowed on even on the intellectual property rights as well, because
Yeah.
you did mention his name and it's very libelous.
Yeah.
Uh, and
Is this
and
supposed to be a documentary or a
no, it's a this director is known for doing some uh biopics of the Marcoses.
Hmm.
So
So it's like a retelling of what happened.
yep. So he's known for revisioning some of the accounts for
I see.
pro Marcoses. But um, that's her, and that's her thing. That's his thing. That's okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but I I do think that right now, uh, it's not that what he had done is not. It's very libelous, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
because you're saying that he really did raped the actress before, which is not
Yeah.
proven, or even if it's not proven, it was not taken up to court to be a public account.
I see. I see. Yeah,
So
that's a big allegation, and uh, I know he's also been on the news for his latest movie, right? This is the first, the one that you were talking about.
yeah,
He
and
for
I think
Metro
it's
Manila film.
yeah, it's one of I think one of the movies here right now, as I mentioned last time, is a pretty good list of movies. And
Hmm.
his movie, The Kingdom, is giving us a sense of a curiosity. So what if we were not colonized? Simply as that.
Yeah,
Uh, Simply as
and I
that.
think a lot of people have been giving him praise for the change um, of acting style that he's done. Because yeah, for
Yeah,
years I know he's always just been uh, puro kalokohan lang yung ano niya,
yeah, it's very
yung
very serious
mga
right now.
roles niya.
Yeah,
Just goofy roles. Now he's doing serious roles in his later stages of life, which
yeah,
is interesting. Yeah. Yeah, that's serious because he's just it's like he's just picking up a second wind of his acting career, and then this comes out. So
yeah,
interesting. I'm interested to hear what happens with this, but yeah, I have heard about the case of, or not the case, but like the controversy of Pepsi
yeah.
Paloma. It's been like well
I yeah.
talked about.
I do think there's a lot of controversies that happened, especially in the showbiz and the politics landscape. There's another one that is on that was probably before the pandemic happened, like 2017, 2018.
Hmm.
That's the case of the twins that were missing up to this time.
Hmm.
And the theory is it's just a make-up story because the family have grudges on another family. So
Hmm.
uh, and there's the Nida Blanca uh, murder case that hasn't yet resolved,
Yeah,
uh, which give impact because Nida Blanca is one of the famous actress in the Philippines,
yeah,
and she's have one. Let's like Dolphy, like
yeah,
these actresses became part of people's lives because of the television series that they have.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
So there's really lots of if I would say if I'm the director and I want to open some curiosity about some cases or theories, I would say some of it should be public account, which I think US have been done, like
Hmm.
the Jeffrey Dahmer case and uh the other uh cases that happened because
Yeah,
there are public accounts and it's okay to show it.
sure. Yeah, absolutely. That's that's just wild. Yeah, well, I curious to see what happens with that. Hopefully, the truth comes to light after after all these years. I think it sucks for Pepsi Paloma's family for that story to be re-earthed, and I think um, that's always what happens with these like biopics. It's like we don't really know the real story, but it's most times sensationalized so that
Yeah,
people people enjoy it because it's still a movie. They still want to make money off of it. So,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And
hard.
they already have a temporary restraining order from it, like the teaser must be removed and on all the platforms, and they already stopped the show for releasing it on the cinemas
Wow, wow, yeah, that's big.
because I unless if they wanted to have their counter affidavit where they're proposing to remove the name.
Yeah, that's hard. Oh, that's good chismis. I wanna hear more in the next episodes.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure, brother. Yeah, and I would say for everyone, our listeners, thank you for joining us on this ride, and we're enjoying this. We're looking forward to 2025. It's a very rough start, I would say,
yeah.
uh, but as we go along, you go on with our journey as well.
Yes, absolutely. Well, yeah, I think we'll wrap it up here. Thank you guys for listening. It's been another good episode of Cali Manila podcast, Chismis at Recuerdos. Or sorry, Cali Manila Chronicles, Chismis at Recuerdos, the podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you guys next.
See you.